So your temporary disability came to an end. Can you apply for EDD benefits at that point to keep income coming in because the temporary disability stopped? It depends. Very fact-dependent discussion. We'll go through some of the common scenarios here. If you have a question, because we don't discuss your situation, feel free to drop a comment down below, see if we can't answer that general question for you. So a fairly common scenario, injured worker has an accepted injury, insurance company is paying benefits, temporary disability is getting paid. Let's say temporary disability gets paid out for 2 full years. It was a very significant injury, multiple surgeries, haven't returned to work yet. You get to the 2-year mark and workers' comp cuts off temporary disability. No more temporary disability. Because there's a rule, it's the labor code in California, says no temporary disability has to be paid most of the time. There's exceptions. No temporary disability has to be paid after 2 years. So the insurance company can cut it off. Even if you just had surgery a week ago, you can't work at all. Workers' comp can cut off temporary disability. So in that situation, can you apply for EDD? What I tell my clients, the general rule is you can certainly always apply for EDD. Whether or not they pay benefits might be a different question, but you can certainly apply. Everything is done online now, but you can go online, apply for state disability benefits. It's not unemployment. It's not that you're able to work and can't find work, but that you're actually disabled due to the workers' comp injury. And you can tell the EDD when you fill out the paperwork, I'm off work. Here's a copy of the doctor's note that has me off work. Here's all my workers' compensation information, the claims adjuster name, claim number, etc., my date of injury. EDD will file a lien in the workers' comp case. That's very common. But if you have benefits in your EDD account and if workers' comp stops paying temporary disability, then EDD might pick up benefits at that point. One important note, probably among several, is that you should always tell the EDD what benefits you're getting, and you should always tell workers' comp what benefits you're getting as well. Because what may happen, let's say workers' compensation is paying temporary disability, and they stop. Oftentimes, when they stop on the 2-year mark, they're not going to go all the way down to 0. They're going to go down and then start paying permanent disability advances. So they'll be paying some, but they're not paying what they were before. So let's say workers' comp is paying permanent disability advances. If the EDD picks up benefits, oftentimes what they'll do is they'll come in and pick up that difference rate, the difference between what workers' comp is paying and what you would have been getting if you were still getting temporary disability. The important thing there is just to let both sides know. So that's one common scenario. Workers' comp cuts off temporary disability because you're at the 2-year mark. They start paying permanent disability advances. You may be able to get EDD to pick up the difference rate between the permanent disability rate and the temporary disability rate. Another situation, let's say workers' compensation, they pay temporary disability for a while, but then there's a dispute over the treating doctor, let's say. You're treating with a doctor, your insurance company is disputing that doctor's reports. Let's say workers' comp cuts off temporary disability because of a medical provider network dispute, reporting dispute, something along those lines. Can you apply for EDD? You certainly can. Again, the general rule, you can apply for EDD, lay out all the information. EDD in that situation, because you're disabled, EDD is not generally going to have a medical provider network issue with your reporting if you're off work, if your doctor is certifying you for temporary disability or disability indemnity because you're not getting any income and you're signing the paperwork, then the EDD may pick up benefits at that point. And again, they'll file a lien in the workers' compensation case against the insurance company. Those are the two most common scenarios when temporary disability might stop. Another situation that comes up fairly often, maybe workers' comp isn't paying temporary disability in the first place. Can you apply for EDD? You bet. The claim, let's say, is very new. You got hurt a couple of weeks ago. Workers' comp, the insurance company, has not picked up temporary disability. They sent out a delay letter to you. So if there's a delay notice, workers' comp's going to pay for some medical treatment, but they're not going to pay temporary disability if you're off work. In that situation, you can apply for EDD benefits. Takes a little bit of time, but again, give the insurance company name, the claim number, all that information. If the EDD picks up temporary disability, they'll file a lien in the workers' comp case. And once your workers' comp insurance company, if they accept liability, instead of going back and paying you money for retroactive temporary disability, they'll have to work out a reimbursement to the EDD. They might owe you a difference pay between the EDD rate and the TD rate. There may be a little bit of housekeeping there for them to take care of. But then workers' comp will take care of all of that. But again, important to let both sides know what's being paid so that you're not getting duplicate benefits. You wouldn't want to collect EDD for, let's say, 3 months and then have workers' comp say, we're accepting liability for your claim. We're going to pick up retroactive temporary disability. Have you ever gotten EDD? And you say, no EDD benefits here. This is going to be a problem. It's a material misstatement. Potentially, it's a felony. Now you're going to get workers' comp benefits, 3 months worth of checks, but you already got EDD benefits. EDD is going to need to get reimbursed, but it's going to have to come out of your portion of the settlement most likely because you got duplicate benefits. Oh, it's a headache. Bottom line with EDD, you can generally always apply. There's no problem with that. Whether you will get benefits or not is another issue, and always keep both sides informed. So if temporary disability or permanent disability rates change, let the EDD know. If you're getting EDD benefits, let the workers' comp adjuster know, and that should clarify most issues. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button down below. I'd appreciate it.